All right, everybody, welcome. Today we have Letty with us. We got me, obviously. We got Chanel on the Zoom. We got Shawhead and we got Darnell. And we've got one person that's supposed to sit right here, but she's always late. So we'll just get started without her and let her join in. First off, Letty, I have to come clean about something. I told you that I was 29, right? And I lied. I'm actually 34. Why do you think I lied though?
I don't really know.
I lied because she was like, "How old are you?" And then I was like, "Damn, I better pull a fast one real quick and like minus 5 years." But I just wanted to be honest about that. So yeah.
To be honest, I don't really remember anything like above
It might have been
27
better
is
if
like
you
the
said 32
same.
or
Okay. So she said that anything above 27 is the same. So I could have just been 40 and it wouldn't have mattered to her. But you're
60,
still.
same thing.
yeah, it would have been better because older is better.
Oh yeah, for you it is. Okay, what's a good age gap for you, Chanel?
I would say like I lowered it now, so 38.
You're 33, right? So that's a 5-year difference for you.
30. I'm 32, so I would say 38 to like.
Okay. So you said 50? 50 is cool. So how much is 50 minus 32?
That's the only reason why 'cause I
18?
dated 50-year-olds, but right now, if I didn't if those people were not in the running.
Hey, Darnell, stop
If
smiling
they
so
weren't
much,
in the
bro.
running, and then if they were if they weren't in the running, then it would be maybe like 48 or something like that, 38 to 48. But these people are in the running, so like 50, and they're like 51, but they don't look it. Black don't crack.
Oh, okay. So Darnell has a shot then? All right, let me move on to Letty real quick. Letty, what's a good age gap for you then? What's what happened?
Or you didn't realize how bad you shooting shots. You said he's 50. You
I
50
can't
what?
even see you guys.
Darnell's not 50, but he's like 45.
When I seen you, I was like, this guy look like he in good shape. Like he be hooping out here. Like.
Oh yeah, I give him the business on the court.
Yeah, see.
Okay, Letty, what's a too much of an age gap for you?
Probably like 5 years. I think that's too much.
5 years?
Yeah.
You think that's
What did you think?
is that
5 years.
is that how about in like the Chinese? You said you're Chinese, right?
Yeah.
How about in Chinese culture? Is like an age gap, like a large age gap, accepted, frowned on?
I don't really know. I'm kind of Americanized.
Okay, but you personally, you think 5 years is just the max?
Yeah, I think just like as a 22-year-old, having 5 years like above you is a lot because like you go through like a lot of changes within like span of 5 years from
Okay.
20 to 30.
Okay. I mean, in my culture, I feel like it's not really like that, but that's a personal preference. I totally get that. I'm thinking like 10 years would be good for me. How about you guys?
Age gap. I mean, I feel
Younger
like
or older? You said 10 years. What?
10 years is
older?
kind of, I guess, kind of reasonable. I don't know. Maybe.
What do you think, Chanel? You think 10 years? I would date
What
a
do you
girl
mean?
10 years older than me?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that like there's not a problem with that if you're ready for a serious relationship or if you're ready for like, you know, if you're ready for that, But like I feel like realistically, I know you want like children and things like that. So I just feel like at 30 something you shouldn't date 10 years younger. Like there's no need for that. Like then it's like you're with a teenager. So I feel like if older, then the older you get, the more of a gap it could be. But when you're 30, then just date somebody your age.
Yeah, that's a good point. I
But
think
then
I think a person
4
like
years or whatever. But
I think in Letty's case, she's 22, so the age gap is like more significant. But as you get older, I think the age gap it
Yeah.
becomes even larger and it's more acceptable. How about you, Darnell? What's your preference? What age would you rather date?
To be honest with you, man, I think it comes down to just where everybody is, But if you have children, you shouldn't date someone close to your children's age.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because then you'll start dating the 19-year-old daughter.
Because
Huh?
then you're right. That'll be, like say my daughter is 23, right?
Yeah.
What do I look like dating somebody that's 23 years old or 22 years old?
A G.
Nah, my daughter would disown me for something like that, man.
Oh, so you're worried about what your children think about you?
Definitely.
I think that's important.
I could care less.
Got to be a role
As soon as
model,
I
man.
die, I hope there's a big bang that just the whole world ends. So, okay. No, but I get it. I get what you're saying. That makes sense. How about you, Shahid?
I'm thinking maybe 20. I feel like females be like tripping. They be hypocrites like, oh, you can't date younger, but then they be doing the same thing. Like they be older females taking younger dudes, right? And it's like the same thing, vice versa. An older dude, say he's with a girl that's like 25 and he's like 30. That's like she's already like
Wait,
25.
Go ahead, Chanel.
Like I think 23 is even like that's the age when they start becoming like rebellious females. They just go on like a wild spree at 23. So you don't want them at 23. You want them before they go crazy. You want them when they're like still innocent, kind of.
When's your birthday?
June 1st.
Okay, so she got another year before you saying she go crazy.
Yeah, basically
No,
that's
what
like
do
a
you mean
year.
crazy?
It feels like it's just a year when like females just they
Shots
just decide to do their own thing and say like, oh, I don't need no man. I feel like
that comes during college though.
Facts.
yeah, I wouldn't know because I'm not in your shoes, but
I think what she's saying is correct. I think all that comes
After
in
college.
college, but
in
I
college.
do agree with what you're saying. After like a certain age, she's been exposed.
I would say 20 for me because I'm 31. I'll go for 20, youngest.
Yeah, like after she hits like after like the age like she passes a certain age, she starts getting more exposed to the world.
You have no
and-
chance of guiding or doing anything at that point. You're already like she's already well in her ways, whether she working at J.C. Penney or Target.
So are you saying the older they get, they can't change?
That time it's already
Yes, I'm saying
too
that
late.
you can't teach
gonna try
an
to
old dog
coach.
new tricks.
like you go try to coach and it's too late. That's
You-
already
You seriously believe that?
I believe that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yeah, I believe that.
Should
I
I-
way rather take a 22-year-old than a 42-year-old because I feel like she's more less tainted by the worldly things in the world
you
that we
just
live
don't
in
have
today.
any control after 23. It's over after that.
Okay, but
So
let's
you have to
let's
try to
let's
go
move
in-
on
you
to
have to try to
the.
get
I
your
don't
way
know.
to go in
I
as
don't
a younger.
agree with that. I feel like it just depends on the type of woman, the caliber of woman that you are going for.
Facts.
If you date a woman that that wants her man to lead, then it doesn't matter. She could be 60 years old and she'll still want her man to lead, or want her partner to lead. So it doesn't matter in that regard. I would say if you're just giving a blanket statement, possibly. But for me, even when I was 25, I was still I still didn't hit, quote unquote make your mark, because like I said before, I was a virgin until I was 25. So technically,
Oh, yeah?
still I could have been led, and I didn't. I wasn't.
But how do
in the
we
world.
know that that's a fact though?
What do you mean?
What you just said,
With
you were a
people,
virgin
just
until
in
you were
general?
25.
Bro, you gotta just take her fucking word for it. What do you mean? She's
I mean,
not
a lot of females
lying.
will say that, but how do I believe that?
I
I'm
mean,
just
I
no
mean,
disrespect
I don't have,
whatsoever.
that's
It does
something
sound kinda
like, that's
disrespectful.
something
No,
I
I'm-
don't have.
A lot of
that's
females will
something
say
that,
that
like,
I've been a
for me-
virgin since 25, but it's like how do you hold back from something like that? You just weren't interested in sex till 25?
No, for me, to be honest with you, like literally, so I was in a long distance relationship. That wasn't the reason why I waited so long. I literally was super into the church, and I was like, I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
wait until I'm married. I was very
That's
I'm not
respectable.
gonna say that I was ignorant, of like, but I was very inexperienced. Like, I had boyfriends prior, and honestly, I was dating older when I was still in high school. So I honestly don't know how that happened. I really don't know how. Like, God literally had His hand over me because I was dating men that, like,
So
when I was
because
in
you were
high
looking
school,
for marriage, you were
you
looking
know?
for something meaningful, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but still though, it's crazy though, like how, like, thinking back, like I was dating old. It's not like I was dating some guys that were in college or that were in high school, right? But I was dating some guys that were older, and he would be like coming up to my school on a motorcycle, whatever, and like I never even seen his penis ever. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it was God. literally because my friends would like they were pregnant, you know, they were definitely having sex. Other people they weren't pregnant, they were still, you know, like intimate with their partners, and I was just like, no, I'm gonna wait, you know. And people would try me, of course, but it just never happened until, you know, I was in love with my person and I lost it with him, you know. And
So you were
you know,
dating
for
though.
me,
You were in a relationship, right?
yeah, I'm sorry.
You were in a relationship. You just when you were like you were in a relationship,
I
right?
was in a
Before?
relationship. Yeah, it was like on and off for like 7 years.
So do you have
Yeah,
any
so I was
children?
in a relationship. I'm sorry.
You have any children?
No, I do not.
Oh,
I
okay.
have 6 children in my preschool.
Oh,
But I
nice.
don't have any biological.
Oh,
But
cool.
yeah,
I
I don't
work
have
with
any
kids too
biological
before I work with
I
kids
work
too
with
before that's
children.
cool.
I'm sorry.
All right,
I've
I'd
worked
love
with
for you
kids too
guys to
before,
get
that's really
acquainted
cool.
and everything, but we have questions to get to. So let me just
Yeah,
interrupt real
I'm
quick.
sorry.
All right, here's the question for the ladies. If you hit it off with someone on a date, would you like to see them or talk to them every day after that? If not, how often would you like to see them? Letty. And then Chanel, you'll go next.
If we hit it off, then probably not like crazy, like every hour kind of texting, but like maybe like once a day ish, just to gauge the interest still.
What about seeing them? How often?
Personally, I don't want to see them that often.
Why?
I think
What's your reason? Is it because you're not that into them? Like, let's say you're super into that person.
I'd still need like a few days or something just to process, you know? I'm not very like a clingy person, I think. Maybe that's why. So not an everyday thing
Okay.
at first.
Okay, so you hit it off with this person. You want to see them maybe every third day, and then one text a day.
It's getting pretty mathematical, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Chanel, how
I'm
about?
sorry. Can you say it again? What did she say?
She said that
she wants to see him. What?
She said that if they hit it off, that she would like to see him every third day. Not exactly.
Okay, well, I think it depends on like on people's schedule, you know? Like if you're super busy, then it's going to be a little more time. If not, then maybe a shorter amount of time.
Okay.
But depends.
And then what about the one text a day?
Again,
And a
depends
text
on
a day. A text a day.
Yeah. So that's just
I can't
give
hear
her
her.
give or take. Can you hear me though, Chanel? Oh, you're cutting off, Chanel. See, this is why the Zoom thing is not working out. Okay, I get it. How about you guys? How often would you want to see somebody that you totally hit it off with?
I don't know, bro. I guess every day.
Okay. What about like talking and texting?
Talking and texting, like just a little bit here and there in the day.
Okay, because you're already seeing them every day, right?
I mean, if that's the case, if you can see every day, but if you can't, then maybe every other day.
Chanel, are you hearing us?
Yeah. Well, he said. Did a guy say every day?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
How about no? Don't worry about what he
Oh.
says, okay? What would you prefer? You, Chanel, what would you prefer?
Oh, sorry. You said what would I prefer?
Yeah.
I would definitely prefer to talk every day. If you're not talking to me or calling me every day, then I feel like you're not interested and I move on. But I would say as far as seeing each other, maybe 2-3 times a week.
Okay. All right. That's kind
But
of what.
like, you know, it could be like a Saturday, Sunday, and then one day throughout the weekday, like
Yeah.
that.
Okay, that's fair. I just want to throw this out there, though. I have a friend, and I consider him a high value male. I don't know, however, you guys would consider that, but he's a baller and he's cool and everything. And he's been in the dating scene, and he met this one girl that he hit it off with, and they were from the same culture, and they were from the same kind of income bracket. And he said that when he started seeing her, they started hanging out every day. And it was like extended periods of time, like 8 hours at a time. And he's saying that they were both they weren't missing work, but they were losing sleep because they were having such a good time with each other and seeing each other. And he said that he noticed such a difference between the Western culture where everyone's playing like this kind of game with each other, like, oh, I don't want to seem too desperate or whatever. But granted, he really liked her and she really liked him, and they started seeing each other every day. And he was talking about how he's thinking about marrying her now, and it's only been 6 months. I think he needs a little bit more time to figure her out, but it just kind of gave me some insight onto when there's no games involved, when there's pure connection, when there's like a
there
real.
shouldn't be games involved though.
There shouldn't, but does that mean that there isn't? You know how many people just play games all the time? And
Right.
games are not always on purpose, right? People just are not as into one person as the next person is. And so that's how games happen sometimes. But there was no games involved in this guy's, connection with her. And now they're just like the cutest couple ever. And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, but I think that if you seriously want to get to know somebody, you have to be in their space. You have to get to know them. You have to spend time with them. There's a clock where you can deal with somebody for an hour, 3 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, overnight, and then a weekend. That's kind of how you gauge things, right?
How about you personally, though?
That's what I'm telling you. That's how I gauge things. Like, look, if we're talking and we're having a great conversation about whatever, right? You want that, because what everybody wants in their mate is a friend, somebody that they can talk to, except for Omid. You don't want a friend, you just want the woman.
No, that's not true. Okay, we have another girl in the chat. She actually goes to our gym too. I'm sure you guys have seen her around. She says that I would want to see them consistently,
Exactly.
but not be constantly on the phone with them, like texting and calling, FaceTiming,
Right.
if you are already spending a lot of time with them in person. And that's actually a really good point. So like you're seeing them every day, and why do you need to FaceTime and call them
You don't.
multiple
Right.
times when you're
Right,
already
you can
seeing
find a
them
way.
every day?
Yeah.
So I do agree with that. And I think that's the situation that the friend of mine is in too. He's not always on the phone with her or texting her, but he sees her all the time.
But that's the difference. It's either if you don't see him all the time, like Chanel was saying earlier, in a long distance relationship, well, then you're gonna FaceTime, you're gonna text, you're gonna talk. But if you have that person where you can see them a few times out the week, well, you don't need to spend all that time on the phone.
Okay, how about this? B in the chat. Let's say you're not seeing them every day. How often would you want to talk to them and text them? And you too, Letty. Let's say on the days you're not talking or you're not seeing them, is it still one text and that's good enough for you?
I think that would be like more than if you don't see them every day.
Would you want to talk to them for like an hour a night?
Yeah.
Okay. And Chanel, how about you?
Yeah, I would. Like, if I feel like speaking on the phone or FaceTiming is a replacement of seeing that person. So if I'm seeing them, I don't need to be on the phone with them. But if I'm not, then yeah, I would say like a good morning text, or like, and then like checking like in throughout the day, if you need to or if you can, if your job allows it. And then for sure, like talking on the phone that night, I feel like.
Okay. So I'm not really a quality to like the love languages thing. Like quality time is not mine. And so I'm not sure if I'd want to be talking and texting and seeing them every day just out of my own preference. But I do think that if there's a genuine desire and a genuine connection for something real, then you do want to see each other as often as possible, as long as it's not interrupting your work and school or whatever schedules.
Right.
Okay, B answered. She said, I would want to check in a little more to talk about the other person's day, life, etc. If I'm not seeing them consistently, to keep that connection, I'm assuming keep that connection going. So yeah, that's really fair. I feel like that's and keep in mind, this is no games. This is not dating the person that that is probably not going to work out. This is a person that you have a genuine connection with, that you want to work out with. Okay, is that good enough on that question? Maybe next question now? Okay, let's say that you are single and you find someone very attractive, which is physically your ideal type of person. They approach you cordially in a charming manner, make you laugh, and they seem like a great person and a great match for you. And you still say no to their request to ask you out sometime. Don't worry about that. And you still say no when they ask you out. what would be some reasons why you would say no to them? They're a great match, they charming, make you laugh, attractive in your eyes, but you still say no. Like, is it maybe you got out of a bad breakup, or I don't know, it could be anything. Why do you guys think a girl would say no? Or have you ever said no to somebody that you thought was a great match for you and you still said no and you rejected him? Why did you do that?
Just to focus on myself.
To focus on yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Chanel, did you hear the question?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I feel like I've done that before, but I still like got their number, but I just like put them in a friend zone.
Why?
You know?
Why though?
And then I realized, well, just because I was in a situation and I wasn't done yet. It wasn't like I think we were talking about it before. It wasn't something that was like had a title or a label, but it was something that was serious, you know. So it's like I wanted to see that through before doing that. But then because they always say, you know, the grass isn't greener on the other side, and that's very true. I thought this person like on paper was like perfect. This new person I met, and you know, I was like, okay, cool. I got to know him, and then I realized he had some things that, you know, gave me pause later on, even though he still had those things on paper that were great, you know, and he's a great person, but still,
You know you're lying.
he had, you know, his own situation. He was technically single as well, but then come to find out he's dating all these other people. They're popping up out of the woodwork. So I'm like, okay, I'm happy I didn't leave my situation for that person.
Okay, actually, there's a girl in the chat, B in the chat. She kind of commented on what you just said, like interacting with other people. She said, how are they previously acting toward other people or interacting with other people? So if you saw that a guy had talked to a few other girls before you, would that turn you off?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the perfect guy for you. You're not willing to compete for him. You're going to let that turn you off?
Well, I will say this. I'm not gonna say that it's a definite no, but I will say that it is a turnoff because I want someone that is unattainable, and I know that sucks. That's because like I'm so picky, and that's my issue. I'm so picky, so it's like I don't want a man that everybody can get. I don't want a man that every like person can like.
This is the perfect guy for you. On paper, he's charming. He makes you laugh, and just because you think that you're not going to compete for him,
Yeah,
you're
going
to
interrupt for a
Yeah,
second.
go ahead.
I listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm just gonna say that all these females that do that to the dudes.
I'm competing all the time, like, but with women I don't even know about. You get what I'm saying? So it's not about that. That doesn't scare me off because for me, whatever's for me will happen. You know. So and that's not an issue for me. I feel like only someone that has low self-esteem would have an issue with competition. You know.
All right.
However,
Let me.
I feel like for me, when if a man is wanted, that's fine. If a man is wanted, right? But if a man wants everybody, then that's a problem.
All right. Let me let. Chanel. Let me let Shawhead
This is just
jump
my
in.
point of view. I remember, like Kevin Samuels used to say, "Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace his soul." But yes, ma'am. And he used to say to the females, they used to do that to the men. You know, always hold out, even if they got the perfect resume or whatever.
Can you please say it louder? I don't want to miss.
Yeah, my bad. Is that a little bit better? So yeah, like Kevin Samuels, he used to be like, "Buy a dog, die alone." He used to say that to the females just straight up because they be playing a lot of games.
But that's the thing. It's like it won't be alone because even now, like I'm single, but it's like I'm actually doing the most, and people are competing even harder than the same person Okay, so
you're saying there's other guys coming out of the woodworks. What other guys are we talking about here? Some other guys at the woodwork. So when you hold off and you're patient, you're saying better things come. That's what you're
doing it, fighting harder.
convincing.
He's fighting harder now that I pulled back. So it's like,
all right.
And there's no sex on the table now. So it's like,
so you
Okay,
get
all right.
two.
You guys,
You get a double cheeseburger.
You guys are conflating the issues. The question is would you be willing to compete for a guy that was perfect for you? Would you be willing to compete for him?
Absolutely. If he's perfect for me, then hell yeah.
What does perfect mean though? Is there such thing?
Letty, would you be willing to compete a guy that was perfect for you?
guys should classify these
I don't think
terms.
so.
You wouldn't chase a guy that's perfect for you?
No.
So you'd rather settle for a guy who's not perfect for you?
I wouldn't settle. I would just be
So
by
like,
myself.
so let's say you had to compete for the guy that was perfect for you. Would you be willing to compete for him?
No, because if he's interested in other people, then that kind of like tells me how much he likes me.
So
Okay.
how about if it's not that he's interested in other people, but other people are interested in him?
Yeah,
Then-
that's C.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then
Yes.
that wouldn't be an
Yes,
issue.
that's my type. That's my type.
See, that's the problem with females nowadays.
So I mean,
I see what I
I'm
mean.
gonna keep it a buck with you one
Oh,
time.
Lord.
One time, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The reality of it is nobody wants somebody that somebody else doesn't want.
Yeah, true.
That's a man or women or a woman.
Will you say it louder?
Nobody wants
happened?
somebody that somebody else doesn't want.
right.
You want somebody that's attractive. You want somebody that's intelligent, funny. You want that person. So if the guy is like, oh, I've never had anybody want to take me out, or the woman is like, nobody ever wants to go out with me, who wants to be with that person in reality? When you think about it, who wants to be with that person? Everybody will say, oh, that'll be the great person for me because then I know that they're not going anywhere. Well, that's an insecurity that you have to work out. But if you know that the person that you have is attractive, intelligent, and they're wanted by other people, then it's a level of understanding. Look, you're here because you choose to be here, not because you have to be here.
Okay, but
Right.
back to the question, because you make a great point, right? That all is that true, and I agree. But I want to see what and B, if you're in the chat, please answer this too. Would you be willing to compete for a guy who's perfect for you? Would you compete with other women to win him?
But they're not looking for perfect, bro. They're looking
To
for
it,
the
to
guy
it.
that's unavailable. That
And
is
what do you mean by
plenty,
perfect?
Right.
I don't know what perfect means. Whatever perfect to her means.
Right.
So you mean based on her standards, what she wants, what she needs from a man,
Yeah.
if that's what it is.
See, this is
That's
how
not
I
what
this
she
is
wants, though, either.
thi-
Females don't want that either.
this
We
is-
just
this
explained
is what
it.
I'm
They don't want
saying.
perfect.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that women
That's
nowadays.
simp. Perfect is simp. That's another way to say simp. SIMP. Spell it.
All right, let me just say this.
Come
Can
on,
I
bro.
can I say this please
What?
before you interrupt me again? I feel like nowadays women have way more options that they ever had in history, right? Like there was like studies where a woman could go on Tinder or whatever dating app and she'll get 500 matches in the first day, whereas a guy you'll go on there and maybe get 5 or at the most 50. So women have way more options than men nowadays, and I feel like that's causing. And in the past, like our previous generations, our great grandmothers, they would compete for the best man. But now women are saying, I'm the prize. I'm not willing to compete for any man. He needs to chase me. And I see that as being an issue nowadays.
Yeah, but out of those
I
500
don't
men
100%
that
agree with that. I feel like women have more options as far as sex goes. However, as far as a man actually settling down, there's less options.
yeah,
I
that's
will
what I
say
was about
that
to get to.
because it's not like yeah, like you know, a guy, yeah. There's gonna be so many like you know, like on a dating site, like within the first day easily. Okay, there's you know like 24 hours. Let's just say 300 messages, right? But at the same time, how many of those men are willing to actually
Facts.
settle down? And you get what I'm saying? Yeah, they may all be willing to sleep with me, right? So I mean, it's the yeah. I get what you're saying, but it's
Okay, so
it's a little bit
I'm
more
just
in-depth.
gonna say this. Okay, and then B in the chat, she said, yes, I would to an extent. And I do agree, like a man needs to show you that he's actually serious with you. I think that's the extent. If he's showing that like I'm never gonna take you serious, then I wouldn't, if I was a girl, I wouldn't compete for a guy like that. But for a girl like Letty in your situation, you're a lot younger, so you have time. You're not worried about missing the boat. But in Chanel's case, or if you were 10 years older, like 45 years old, like, yo, like why are you guys seeing yourself as such a prize when it's actually
And
the
it's
guys that are the
actually
prize?
other way around, exactly. And you guys
yeah, exactly.
neglect.
Well, yeah, but who's 45 years old? First of all, hold on.
You guys neglect the perfect guy because the perfect guy is a simp, right? And then that guy's neglected, but in the long run, that guy's
Why
winning,
does
and
he
you
have
guys
to be a simp though?
A simp
because
is my
because
type-
of his behavior.
type,
But
actually. A
that's
simp
how the
is my
females
type.
treat him. It's
That's-
not that he is a simp. It's that's how they treat him.
That's
'Cause
so cap.
putting-
Chanel,
They're
what you
putting
just
the
said.
perfect guy that
Like
has the
the word
resume, that has all the background to be, you know, a good man for the family, and that man is replaced by the club dude that likes to kick it,
Well, those are
smoke weed,
those
and
are
party
stupid
and stuff.
women, though. I mean, to be honest with you, like I'm just very transparent and like I'm very like straightforward. If the man's wrong, the man's wrong. If the woman's wrong, the woman's wrong. For me, in all of the characteristics of a simp, that's my type. Okay,
You like the simp.
I like them nerdy. Like I date.
You like to control your man?
Engineers. I date lawyers.
I'm
I
just-
date bookworms.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, those are smart.
You
those are
said
educated.
you said
I don't have
engineers?
That's
children.
I don't see that as simp. I see that as educated.
Omid said, I
Well, you
still
know,
have
but what
a
I'm saying is,
chance.
what I'm
Yes, I
saying
gotta
is like
try.
someone that has like, yeah, but I'm, well, okay, so I'm not sure understand specifically what it took for that engineer to get there. I'm not saying the title itself, but I'm just saying what that person had to do. Like they had to be like all about their education, for the most part, right?
I don't think
Unless
you know
they
what
just
you
were
want,
that
Chanel.
person, like, led, right?
So you like a guy that's smart, but you also like two sides, like someone that could also.
Okay, let me get to B's
Did-
comment. She
so
said
you
I
dated some lawyers and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. That's like met a lot of different types of people.
all right, we got
So sorry,
finally
I'll
we
let-
got
it-
our
It cut out.
remaining
It cut out.
guest that just walked in. And we should ask her this question, but then we should probably move on to the next question after this.
What's going on?
How you doing today?
All right, so the Chanel just got cut off. I'll get her back on here. Okay, so Moro, this is the question.
All right, let's go.
Are you willing to compete for a guy who's perfect for you?
Ooh, good question.
Are you willing to compete with other women for that guy? And you got to talk a lot closer into the mic. So
All right. Well, for me, I feel like if his mind is elsewhere, then I don't want it.
assuming that he is looking for marriage and
Okay.
he is gonna take somebody seriously.
But how can he be taking somebody seriously if he's like trying to?
Because
like,
a guy
talking
who's
to two
valuable is
people?
gonna have a lot of people chasing him.
But what's the value there, though? It depends on like the
Whatever
individual.
whatever being perfect to you is.
I wouldn't. No.
Okay, you're gonna lose a guy that's perfect for you with that attitude.
Well, he's not perfect for me if he's like looking elsewhere.
Let's assume he was perfect for you and he's looking to settle down with somebody and he has options.
No, I should be priority.
You're not the prize, he's the prize.
No. No.
He's perfect for
Who's-
you.
wait,
Nobody
wait,
said
wait,
you were
wait, wait.
perfect for him. He's
She's
perfect
not
for
agreeing
you.
She's
Oh.
not agreeing to that stance.
No. That's
thinks
not.
the woman
that's
at the
Okay,
not
you're gonna let that
happening.
guy get away?
He's letting me get away.
Okay. All right.
She said she's
The question
prize.
is
I'm the
there
prize.
is there any prize or is it a mutual thing that both
See,
of you
Right.
should
I
understand as a
so
prize?
disagree with this mentality. Like
Right,
the
it's like-
man, there's way more of you in the world than there is of him.
No.
Yeah.
How? No.
Actually,
because
that is true.
there-
That's a fact. More females in the world than
Okay, but
males.
yeah, but there is a lot of females. But what about the value in the actual
quality.
female? That's the thing.
Big
There's
value.
everybody's.
Oh
like-
yeah, big value definitely.
Yeah, so
Way-
there's
way more than
values in women that men I think men should look for the value in the woman more than us because like us women we already know our value. So I think that's the thing with us. If we know our value and if we want to pursue a guy and his mind is elsewhere, then he's not of value.
Okay, so B said that in the comment. She said that I want to be perfect for him as well. So if that's the
Right.
case, then I get that. But
Right, exactly. Because I think women hold a lot of value, and if anything, nowadays I feel like women have got their shit together and men don't, and that's the honest truth. Like I feel that's
Shots
the
fired.
shot. Yes, exactly.
We just talked about a different type of attraction. She was talking about guys that are occupied and they have other options. How she's more attracted to that. That's how a lot of females think too. So that's another side to think about is not just about one female or a group of 2% that feels that they want to be the number one preference, right? then everyone else is thinking like a different way.
So B is making
would
a good
say-
point. It's kind of like saying what you're saying is.
Yeah, thank you.
She said, it should be a mutual thing. I want the person that I'm with to want me just as much as I
Oh,
want
nice.
them.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So okay. Let's get to the next question.
Good comments, guys. We appreciate it.
Here's the next question. If you were looking for a long-term relationship, how can you know if your dating partner wants that too? So it's kind of leading into this. How do you know if a man wants to get married? If you really think he's the prize, you really want this guy, how do you know that he wants that too?
You're basically asking us what kind of quality we're looking for. Is
No.
that what you're asking?
No, like let's say you found the perfect guy
Mm-hmm.
that you really want, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know he wants marriage with you and he's not just, you know,
That's really hard because it's very difficult. To
I know it's
tell,
hard. That's why I
like-
asked the question.
Well, it's difficult to say because every girl looks for different things in marriage. So it's not everybody looks for the same quality. So like some women, they want financial security. Some women want emotional security. Like some women already financially successful. They just want a partnership.
We're
that
not
they
talking
have.
about what she wants. We're saying, how do you know that that's what he wants with you?
Well, that's the thing. It's difficult. That's very broad.
How would
question.
you try to decipher it, Letty? If you really wanted this guy, you wanted to get married to him, you're not sure if he wants to marry you or not, how would you figure it out?
Talk to him,
What would you ask him?
like what his goals are.
What if he
his
said, yeah, I
intentions
want to
are.
get married, but like, you know, a lot of guys can just say that just to appease you.
then
Well, that's yeah. I
How
feel
would you
like-
really decipher it? How would you read past his words?
Probably just look at his actions then, like what he's doing and how it lines up with what,
What
he's
kind of
saying.
what kind of actions? What would you want to line up? What would you need to see from him?
Like consistency.
Of what?
communication?
He can
Yeah.
send you a good morning text every morning, but maybe
But like
he's sending.
genuine communication, not just like, hey,
Yes.
good morning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like throughout the day. It doesn't have to be a not like continuous communication, but I think if a guy has, like I said, his shit together, good job, has his own home.
No, we're
it
not
doesn't
talking. We're
think-
not talking
but
about
I'm
that.
saying
He does have
has
all
it.
that. Now
How-
you're trying to decipher what he's actually what his intentions are with you. I think
Okay.
you guys are screwed. If you can't answer this, you're not going to be able to determine how a guy's going to actually take you serious. How do you know that he's actually going to take you serious? She said.
I
She
feel
said.
like you can also just tell.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
You said
tell.
genuine connection, his actions. Like,
Yeah.
elaborate on that because that's kind of like hitting it right now.
Yeah, it's basically acts of service. Like I feel like that's how you know if a guy's really interested.
So a guy's not gonna do things for a girl that he's not that serious about.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you guys
It's-
think?
I
is
think also
not-
being like attentive and caring.
Especially
Yeah.
out here in LA, you got a lot of people out here willing to do anything just to get the cookie.
That's what I was just thinking right now.
Yeah, a lot of guys
A
will
lot of
just
wanna
guys
say
will,
it.
they will wine and dine. They will tell you whatever you want to hear,
Change your
just so
oil
that they
price.
can. Hey, I will come over here and do whatever's necessary so
Right.
that I can get the prize that I'm looking for, and then I'm gone.
He's playing a
But
part, right?
just one time.
Yeah, he's
though?
playing a role. Hey, there are a lot of guys that
Just
like,
for one time. Though?
just for one time.
Why though?
I
Right,
have-
Bro,
exactly.
that's
What
so
is
I
going
have-
on now?
I
What do you mean
have
why? Who
no
cares
idea.
why?
I have
That's
no idea,
crazy.
man. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm lost.
you put in all that work and that time, that energy, and that effort just so that you can get this one score.
So how are you
Oh,
women
man.
going to be able to differentiate a guy who's doing that versus somebody who actually wants to marry
It's
you?
basically like love bombing.
That's treachery.
Yeah.
That's tricky. Like, yeah, he's bamboozling, just trying to set it up just
Yeah.
for one time. That did.
I think us women, we can tell what's love bombing nowadays. I think back then, like I think a few years ago, we wouldn't understand that, but now, like today's like modern day dating, it's so easy. Like everybody's love bombing each other. That's what I honestly feel. I feel like it's I
What if
think
he
it's the
doesn't-
norm now.
But what
to
if
be
he
honest.
doesn't love bomb you? What if he's just acting like
What
normal?
if we got confused and we thought we were in love, but we realized we really don't love you?
That could be the case,
I
but
think that happens a lot too. Once you get to
Well,
see,
it don't be. Sometimes that means that's not love. That's lust.
yeah, but sometimes you're confused because
we also have a comment too. he says it, he shows it. You both are moving in the same direction and making plans. Okay, he says it, he could lie. He shows it, he can lie. You guys are both moving in the same direction and making plans together. That's interesting.
I see it as enjoying
Wait,
each
wait,
other's
wait,
time
wait,
in
wait,
a
wait.
way.
Comment on that. He's making plans and you guys are moving in the same direction as each other.
So that's the same as, okay, well, look, we're going to
Trying
take this trip this weekend. We're going to take this trip next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm got
Not
this-
just trips, but just like
No,
little-
I'm
little
just,
life.
Yeah, life plans. You can do all of that. I've seen it. I've heard it. And at the end of it,
So he could totally sell her the
he
dream
can
of
sell. I've heard this from women themselves. I've had a lot of guys where they say they have their representative show up. The guy that shows everything that they want to be about. The guy that says everything the correct way. He's love bombing. And then eventually you'll start to see that maybe 3 to 6 months in that it starts to change, right? Because you can only keep that act up for so long depending on how long you're seeing somebody.
I guess that's the answer then. You just have to wait. Give it time.
time.
Yeah.
What if you give it 5 years and then you've already hit the wall and now you just
Man,
wasted
in
all that
5
time?
years, you would have known something.
Yeah.
Already, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you about that one.
That, yeah.
5 years, that means that you got your blinders on and you really didn't see what you should have seen in 5 years. Keep it a buck with you, man. 5 years? That's a
Yeah,
long
that's a
time.
It's not my problem to worry about. It's
No, no,
women's
I-
problem
I'm
to
just-
worry about.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, it
you-
happens to men too, I'm sure, right?
Definitely.
Oh, we're seeing both ways.
Guys fall for it. That's both ways.
Bro, just don't fall for it. That's the moral of the story. Is don't fall for it.
okay,
Look
so
out.
genuine. All right, let's kind of wrap this up. This question, genuine connection. I feel like that's an important one. If you have good intuition, you can know when something's like, oh, he's just saying what I want to hear, versus what a genuine connection and communication would be. Making plans together, although you could lie about that too. And then what was the other one? Yeah, the actions, but acts
We
acts
say
of service.
communication. I think women main thing they want is the communication because that's when you genuinely know like if someone is really interested in you, they would be talking to you, they'll be opening up to you, they will like I think it's in communication nowadays you can tell and it's all about the energy. So
Okay, fair enough. The next question that I have for you guys, I feel like we didn't even get to the bottom of that question. Like, guys could lie, girls could lie also,
Everybody.
and
can
it's
lie.
it's really tough to know if someone's really gonna be taking you seriously. But the few things we identified is like, I don't think a guy's gonna be doing a whole lot of acts of service for a girl that he's not super into.
Bro.
He could. I'm saying that could happen. But
It
I'm saying,
happens a lot.
but if he's not that into her, he's not gonna be doing as much for her as if he was into her. So the acts of service is true. I agree with that. I'm gonna do more for a girl that I'm actually genuinely into than a girl who I'm not. Right?
Totally.
And
but
then
when does it end, bro? It's
It ends when the two
Just
people
for-
decide to
just for
stop
the-
playing the game and get serious. And sometimes it's after one party realizes that, you know what, I messed up with this person, I made a mistake, and I lost a really, really good thing. And then that's when people
yeah, but
decide
that's
to
when
make
it's
that
actual
change.
meaningful relationship. That's actual love, right? That you're doing things for somebody.
Well, no, that's when you realize that, man, you know what, this person was real, genuine, and I screwed him over.
Right.
Then you come to the reality, can I fix it? You may be able to fix it, or you may have to set yourself up for the next person that you come in line with. You know, or the next woman that you run into, you may be ready and she's not.
Yeah.
okay.
roll of the
the-
I
dice.
feel like there's
the-
some situations where it's love bombing, and then there's other situations.
this could
where
be a
it's
whole nother
actual-
podcast.
Definitely.
This is like a
actually doing it because you're doing it out of sincerity, right? It's not always about just trying to, do it just because you're trying to get to an end result. That's how a lot of guys see it, I feel like.
Okay, so Moro's gonna ask the next question. Go ahead.
okay. Have you ever dated someone that wasn't good for you and why?
Yeah, because I was stupid, and I didn't have enough experience to know when it wasn't real and that they were just using me to get attention. Anyone else?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I feel like a lot of people have gone through that. I mean, that's how we learn, and that's basically a relationship learning curve. You start talking to somebody, and then you realize they're not good for you, but you enjoy that company, and you continue talking to them, but you're like, oh my God, this is a waste of time. And it's just a matter about time that you actually stop talking. But I think that a lot of people go through that.
Yeah, I think is you end up in a situation where it's fun and enjoyable, but you know it's not sustainable. You know what I mean? It's not for the long term. We can have fun. It's a summer fun type of thing because we're just having so much fun together. But I'm not sure if this is really the person that I want to be with. It depends on if they're a party animal or what.
Yeah.
So they weren't good for you because why?
Just the
were-
lifestyle.
Yeah.
So the lifestyle
I
difference.
think your
Lifestyle
beliefs.
different, man. That's what it. You could have great conversation. You can have a huge vibe, but the lifestyle that they choose to remember how we talked about what if a woman wants to still go clubbing, right? Every
Right.
weekend. You know what I mean? You can have fun with her. You enjoy being with her, but that's her lifestyle. She enjoys being in the club, or he enjoys being in the club. Now,
Vice
and-
versa, yeah.
Right. And so now you're like, well, it's cool to do that once in a while, but not every weekend. Why are you doing this every weekend? You know what I mean? So the different lifestyles will cause a conflict.
Childish. Some people grow and some people get stuck in doing the same thing.
Right.
Like we all was at that. You was at that age. I was at that age. You're out there clubbing, but eventually you think about it. You're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to the bar instead because
You got to realize that at some point.
So sometimes you could date
this is
somebody
in the past.
thinking that your guys' lifestyles will match, but then you realize
Lifestyles
later
change.
that your lifestyles don't match.
Right.
So in the beginning, you dated them thinking they would be good for you, but
Right.
then later you realize they weren't good for you because you guys veered off in different
What
directions.
about just chemistry in general? Chemistry is like the chemical reaction that two people they start off good and then eventually it just
And that's the chemistry of it's either we grow together or we grow apart.
right.
Okay, but that's not the question. The question is, and I want to ask Letty, have you
Yeah,
ever
well,
dated
grow apart,
somebody
that's what I
that
mean.
was
The
good for
chemistry of
you?
It changes. So one time there's a combustion and then the next there's a dead.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing.
Have you ever dated somebody that was good for you? I mean, that wasn't good for you. Why? Why did you date them?
When you say dating, do you mean like
Even just talking.
okay? Yeah, I think just for
Did you know they weren't good for
Initially,
you?
huh?
yeah, initially, like
Initially,
you're still figuring it
yeah.
out. You don't know yet. You're just kind of like
Exactly.
entertaining the idea.
So you weren't sure if they were good or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about when you figured out that they weren't good for you? Did you cut it off or did you continue?
Cut it off.
Yeah.
I cut it off.
I
Yeah.
doubt it. I think guys go for
Why
the
would we lie about
Yeah,
that?
think-
no,
I
we
think-
cut it off.
I
Like
think-
we don't have time like
Yeah.
that nowadays. Us women, we're busy. We don't have time. Like if it's a young girl, like teens going on early 20s and
Well,
stuff.
she is
but-
a young girl.
Yeah, I know she's pretty young, but I'm just saying, like, it's just we mature much faster.
Yeah, I
So
think
even
that-
if it is a young girl, I think we mature much faster, and we just
we just
figure
have
it-
too
yeah.
many like priorities, and we can't like juggle
exactly.
everyone.
So you've never been addicted to the toxic dude that wasn't good for you? You knew you should have cut him off, but you were too into him to do it?
because I have better things. to
You
do.
still have a lot of life to live, though.
No. I don't think she needs to live a lot of life
no,
to
no,
learn that. If
no, what
that's
I-
her natural inclination, then that's good.
I get what you're saying, right? But how many relationships have you had?
None
Exactly.
because I don't get into them if it's
That's-
not
Because she doesn't get
aligning.
into them if it's not aligning. So, but here's the thing.
Where did you think you learned that from, though? Did
What
your
do you
parents
mean?
instill that in you?
Can you clarify?
Like, did your parents say, you're not going to go out here and date a bunch of people?
no,
So, like, that was just a natural thing for you?
I think so. Yeah.
So, are you, okay.
But my point, what I
Go
was
ahead.
saying is, in 22 years of living, she has a great head on her shoulder, right? But until you get into that type of relationship where you truly feel that you're in love with this person, till you truly feel that this person is your world, and then something happens to crush that, then you'll have a different understanding of it. But to this point right now at 22, you're like, nope, I'm not settling. I'm not, nope. You're doing a good job of cutting a lot of that off
Yeah.
because of that level of fear and understanding and respect that you have for yourself, right? Because that's not what you're interested in. So if you don't see it right away, a guy can have you in that mind state and that mindset of, you know what, I'm all you need. I'm here for you. You're my woman. I'm your man. We're going to do this thing together. But something happens, something shifts where he's not there for you like that all the time. And then you start to see the reality of it. That's what I'm speaking of.
Okay, that's fair.
Fair enough.
Does anybody have anything
I
else
agree with
to?
that. I think that there's a way to actually shift that too. You gotta be able to desensitize yourself from emotions. If it does shift, then you gotta know when to shift it.
You got to have that serious conversation, not an emotional conversation.
Right.
That's when
but
I say communication.
Communication.
See, this
an
is when I say-
intellectual
This is beyond
conversation.
point of it, but there's
Oh,
beyond
man,
points of
it's-
communication, right? When it's too late.
Yeah, what you do is you can have that.
communicate.
You have to communicate what
Right.
you will stand for, what you like, what you dislike in the moment. You can't wait. You can't hold it. You can't be like, oh, well, I'll just let it slide this time. Because if you let it slide this time, guess what happens next time? It becomes the norm. It becomes a pattern. And then they're like, well, now all of a sudden you have a problem with this. You didn't say nothing about it before. It's just about the
Yeah,
conversation.
but if
that you
somebody's
gotta
already
have.
talking, and she's already like sleeping with somebody else, it's already too late at that point. Trust me. So once you might break up with them before they break up with you, or it might be mutual. But if they're already talking to somebody else, that's up to you if you want to, forgive.
That is up to you if you want to forgive.
But sometimes you don't want to, because if you don't want to, it's just because you have that.
Okay,
personal
but
choice.
the question was, have you ever dated somebody that wasn't good for
Right.
you? Why? And I want to give my experience. I think that I used to go off of like looks a lot and thinking that, oh, this girl's really pretty. Let me pursue this, but then realize later, okay, they're not good for me. So the why is I thought they were attractive. That's why. I feel like a lot of people that's the case, but nobody's said that yet.
So you was looking at the physical
Yeah,
instead of what's on the inside.
yeah,
Oh, so you go shopping like, oh, this Aquafina looks really, really good, man.
yeah. But you didn't read the ingredients yet.
Right, you didn't read the ingredients. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay, next question. How do you feel about dating somebody that earns less than you?
She
Girls,
said, oof.
I know how the guys feel about this, but I know how the girls feel too. Letty, let's say you're a big time, big shot lawyer one day, right? And you date a dentist that doesn't make as much as you. He makes like 125 grand and you make 250. How you feel about that?
It depends on how he's feeling about it.
Yeah.
No, I want to know how you feel about it.
I think it's more than just what you're making, though. It's like who he is as a person,
Right. And what
his
he brings.
ambitions.
It's not sometimes financial, yeah, he brings like stability. I mean, that's still stable. That's not still a stable career and a still a stable job. The ones that we're worried about is the ones that don't have the job, that don't do anything, still living with their mamas. That's the only thing. So when,
I don't think you guys are being honest though.
Why? Why would
B
I
just
be
commented. She says, I have a problem. Oh, I have no problem with people who have less than me
Yeah.
or make less than me. I feel like that's not an important factor, at least in my opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah, as
That's what
long
we're
as it's not
saying.
doing
That's
like
how it starts
nothing.
off, and then
Yeah.
eventually with time that will change. For
I think
sure.
you
as
guys
long
will
as he's
learn to
paying bills too.
Guaranteed.
No, I mean, because I think that there are other ways for anybody in a relationship to bring value to the relationship
Yeah.
besides just
That's what I was
financial.
trying to say.
Yeah, but what if they have nothing to offer and it's just struggle after struggle? Then it's just gonna lead to
No. Let's
Draining
not
and
say
draining.
that. Let's just say
Yes,
that
get
what
to
you
what
guys
the-
are
yeah, what's the
saying,
question?
that he has a lot to bring, right?
Oh,
He's
like 50,
offering a
50.
lot, but he makes half of what you make.
half, like 50,000 a year. Let's say is that
He
is that
makes
considered
50,000 and you make 100,000,
Yeah, let's say that'd
and
be a two-person.
he's a great partner. He brings so much, but he definitely makes half of what you make.
What about if they have nothing? Like I said, would you date them if they just
No,
are
hold
struggling
on,
day
hold
by
on,
day,
hold
though?
on, real
Is
quick,
that-
please.
Is that way
Hold
worse?
on, Shahid, hold on.
Some people.
He makes half of what you make, but he's a great partner. That's okay with you guys?
I'll be okay with that.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this: I would never date a girl that makes more than me
Why?
because you guys are lying. A girl will learn to resent a dude that makes less than him. Girls are programmed to want the dude to
No,
be
The
better and
resentment
not
make
doesn't
more.
nurturing,
come in.
though.
The
That's
resentment
different.
doesn't
That's
come in
different.
until he
Yeah.
does something wrong.
No. Yes.
till he violates
Like-
the relationship or violates her.
He
in
is
some way.
violating the relationship by not making as more than her.
But
Yeah,
if,
but
if
he's
he's
still
if he's a school
providing.
if he's a
More.
school teacher and she has a different job, that's not a
Yeah.
violation. That's his career. That's what he chose to
It's
do.
a biological violation. Like in
How's
all
that?
of
I
time.
think that makes
that's
me
their
want
opinion.
to make more because I feel like
Right.
traditionally it's always the guys making more and then they have like
Mhm.
that upper hand.
Yeah, that shift has happened.
And
That's what I just told you. Most women have their shit together nowadays, and so we know from nowadays women don't depend on a man financially.
yeah.
That's the honest truth.
Yeah, I think that's a problem.
How? Because it's situations.
I think that's
Like
why we
situ-
have an 80% divorce rate.
Oh my God, his reasons with the divorce rate.
Because
that's not
women-
the reason why people get divorced.
Do the woman respect the man as much that makes 50,000? That's what I'm trying to figure out. They
Respect.
respect.
Yeah, respect.
I would
How you
have
gonna
to
be with somebody that
contribute
you
in other
don't
ways,
respect? Okay, we got a comment. If they only make half of the cut, I would still be interested because I'm not dating them for financial gain or to get money out of it. I see no. Okay.
See?
I
Yeah.
think you guys are saying this, but I think if you were really in a situation where you were in a long-term relationship and everything's great between you two, but you make way more money than him, I think you guys would have a problem.
No, I've been in that situation.
Why aren't you with them now then?
That's different reasons.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
that's different reasons. That it wasn't because it like financially it wasn't the problem. There was other factors in the relationship.
okay, I'm not gonna get
so-
into that. Like,
yeah.
but I'm just saying that
So
I
but-
don't think you guys would respect a man that makes less than you. Okay, that's how I feel. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying that's how I
Yeah,
think.
but we're telling you as women, no.
And I'm not gonna-
But
I'm
all
not
right,
gonna
so
hear
hold
it.
on, bro. I want to hear what you got to say. Why can't you respect or have a woman that makes more than you?
I just
Right.
don't feel like biologically, naturally, that's how for thousands of years.
I'm not talking about 1,000 years. I'm
Iranian,
talking
bro.
about in 2023, right
Bro,
here,
that's
right
wrong.
here.
We have
Talking.
we have instincts
just
and
like-
we have a lot of like genetic makeup that's been made up over many thousands of
I
years.
get that
Today,
part,
it's affecting me.
Why is that affecting you today to where your mindset is, oh, you're a perfect match for me. You're my woman that I want to be with, but you make $250,000 a year. You're gonna have to get a job making less.
Okay, the reason is I don't want to be in an inferior position.
wanna
I
be-
I don't
But
want
what
my
makes
girl
you-
wearing the
what
pants.
makes you feel like you're inferior because she makes more than you?
Right.
Technically, you're
Insecurity.
inferior. The
No, you're not.
definition of inferior is
No,
you're
you're
less
not.
than. So you're making less than money
Well,
money
go
than her.
hustle then.
So you think
I will, but
So-
I'm
That's
just not
what I'm
gonna.
saying.
I'm
So-
not gonna date the girl that makes more
hold
than
on,
me.
but
though.
I need to understand, why do you think that you're gonna feel inferior because she makes more money?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a factor.
It's
is what
not
I'm
about
saying.
how I feel. I'm still gonna be confident. I'm still gonna be me and exactly how I am. But the bottom line is she makes more than me, and women always want to date up. Women never want to date
That's
down.
not true.
That's so true.
That is not true.
It's not
Now, I think you need to look up a study
Listen,
on how many
most-
women are pulling the
yeah.
weight in their relationships, one way or the other.
I think what I think.
Well,
Yeah, but so help me understand. Help us
Yeah.
understand why
I
are
just
you thinking
did.
that?
I'm just saying, naturally, by
Naturally,
nature,
by nature.
men need to be in a position where they're the providers and protectors. And when
But
a
can't
woman,
they provide in other ways besides
Yes,
for money?
you definitely can.
yeah, you can provide and protect in
I
other
know-
ways, but
I know
money is the
families
most important
take
thing.
care of
I
the
know
children.
families to this day. The woman brings home all the money. The guy is still the head of the family, and they work it perfectly.
mhm.
How many of those situations you think are the average?
A
Is that the
lot.
norm?
A
I don't
lot.
think that's the norm.
So
It
this is what we're gonna do.
I'll
We're
t-
gonna look this up.
you have some statistics
I
on
do,
that?
No,
because
I'm
all
about
my
to tell
friends-
Pull up
We're
the
going to
statistics.
look up the stats on that shit so we can see.
All right, come to
What's
the
the
next
difference?
come to the next
gonna
podcast
come-
prepared with those
we gonna
stats,
have
and
the
don't say
numbers
you're
on
gonna
that
do
shit.
it and don't do it. You better do it.
Man, you forgot who you talking to there.
Okay, make sure you come
Man,
with some
look
stats.
here, I'm gonna come in here with a whole
Wait, I
book and
got
a
facts,
dissertation
Okay,
for
okay,
this shit.
It's
please
like
do.
my friends. Okay, we're all in the medical industry. My friends are not just normal people. They're nurse practitioners. They're doctors. They're
Right.
this and that. They make more than their boyfriends. They do.
I think it's gonna fail.
They're
Okay,
pretty
wait, we got a
happy,
comment. We got a
so-
comment. No, for real, we shouldn't. And I'm the only one that's saying no. Everyone else is agreeing right now, but okay. No, for real, we shouldn't be over analyzing financial income of each gender and how it determines a relationship. I don't see a correlation with the
Absolutely.
two whatsoever. I'm referring to respect from the partner.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Okay.
Who said that?
B. She also goes to LA. Fitness. So okay,
All right,
okay,
good.
I get what you guys are saying. I don't agree with it at all. I would never date a girl that makes more than me. I would not be okay with it.
So what do? Do you ask her straight away how much you make?
No.
How do you know?
No, but you just kind of girls don't ask a guy right away how much you make, but they get a sense. And
So let me
How
ask
do
you
you
this.
know?
So, but I'm curious. So what if you start talking to a woman, you
Okay.
really like her,
Okay.
you're into her.
I've done that. I
So,
made that
well,
mistake, and I won't do it again.
Can I finish my thought?
I know where you're going with
you,
it.
Can you stop and let me finish my thought, please? Thank you.
I know where you're going.
Can you stop and let me finish my thought,
No,
please?
'cause I
Thank
know
you.
where this is going.
No, where's it going?
You're gonna say she's perfect for you in every way, right? But she makes more than you. Are you willing to just dump?
No,
that?
that's not what I'm finna say.
Okay, go ahead.
So can I finish? Okay, thank you. So you guys are in this relationship 6 months, 8 months, right? You're really feeling, but you have never, ever had a conversation about finances.
Mm-hmm.
You've never talked about who makes what, and she lives a modest lifestyle.
There we go.
She's driving a Toyota,
Mhm.
got a nice little condo, right? Nothing that says I'm a 7-figure woman, right? All you know is she goes to work, she handles her business, she has dinner for you, she's taking care of you, treating you like the king you
Taking
are.
care of me.
Listen to what I'm saying. Treating you like
Okay.
the king you
Okay,
are.
I like that.
Basically, right? But you're giving her the same thing, so you're really head over heels into her. And then you see a bank statement.
Bro, that's what I just said.
No,
You
it's
said
not.
that's not what you were
No,
gonna say, and
it's-
you just
no,
said that.
no,
I
it's
read
not.
it, bro.
Listen to everything that I just said. Everything that you said was surface. That's in the first 2 to 3 months. I'm saying you're eight months in, almost a year into this relationship with this woman.
I'll break up with her.
Damn.
You're gonna break up with her when you see
I don't
the
believe
bank
that.
statement that
Hell
says that she
no.
has 10, 15, or whatever in the bank. And I'm not talking about 1,000.
Right.
Okay, it depends on.
Oh,
if-
now it depends.
Okay, it depends if she got that money on her own. I'll break
Self-
up with her.
If she's a
But
self-made,
if it was family money, then maybe
What's
I'll
the
consider
difference?
it. There's a big difference.
how is that a difference if she made it herself or if she has
You should be more proud she made it
family
So you don't
herself.
want
that left
someone
her some money?
successful.
You gonna
is
tell
what
me
I'm
what I
hearing.
should feel?
It was a question. You
Yeah.
don't want someone successful.
Exactly. you
No, I don't.
Wow.
I want her to have a. I want her to put her family over her career.
Yeah, go ahead and say what B said. Bruh. In
Bruh.
all caps. Come on,
Ain't
man.
no
Read the
way
comment.
You would break up with her
Thank
over
you.
that.
Thank
there
you.
you go.
There's no way that if you're head over heels over this woman, she's not splurging, and you just happen to come across her mail and see that bank account got 7 figures in it, and now you're gonna say I'm about to walk away
Like,
from her?
like I just said, bro, is it family money or is it
doesn't
self-made?
matter.
Really,
None of that
I
matters.
don't think it
It
really
does- it
matters.
does
So,
matter.
okay. So now let me ask you this. So now that you see it, now you're gonna start to fight in the argument. Like, whoa, what's all this?
No, I won't fight. I just,
So what? So how the
yes,
conversation?
B, I'll break up with her. Yes.
So how's the conversation gonna go then?
I'm not comfortable. Bye.
That's it.
Come on.
Hey, I seen that you got 20 million in the bank. I'm not comfortable. Best of luck to you.
That's
That-
ridiculous.
I'm calling
Yeah.
bullshit.
That's
Hey, man, hit the button over there.
Call it-
Hit the button over there.
She gonna put a hit on his head. After
Man, full of
20K
shit with
on
that
it.
response.
No, I'm not full of shit. I'm die hard about this. I would literally be out of that relationship.
I just don't
But
understand.
you
your
kind of
logic.
through me. You
That's
threw
I don't understand the logic.
you threw
behind
me
that.
off
trying
with
to
the
figure
whole
it
she
out.
lives a modest life, and that ain't never gonna happen
Yes,
It
it,
happens.
does.
unless
It
she's got
happens.
like family money and that's
No,
how
bro.
she.
No.
There are a lot of people that live
No.
in modest lifestyles in a simple 2-bedroom house, but got stacks in the bank.
Right.
You would rather have a trust fund girlfriend than a successful hard. Yes, I'd rather have a trust fund girl all day, every day. I don't want her to be a successful hardworking
I
woman.
don't- I
I
don't
want her to
buy
be a
that.
family. I want her to be a mom first.
Come on, man.
We
Come
are
on,
though.
man.
That's the thing.
What about a boss lady though? Come
No,
on.
I don't want a
Yes.
boss
No,
lady.
this boss lady,
Ugh.
single moms doing what they're doing, living a modest life.
Oh,
You
so
don't know what's in
it
their
sounds
bag.
like you don't want a confident woman,
Yeah,
No, I want her to be confident in her ability
but
to
she
be a
just
mother.
can't make more
Sound
money.
like he wants to control his woman.
Right, that's what it sounds like. You want to be in control, right?
Yes.
No, that's
wanna
not
have
what it
that-
is
I
at
was
all.
like-
I just
Shocking,
want
you
I
know?
want her to have her priorities straight, meaning
But her priorities
Oh my-
are straight. How are her priorities not straight?
Her
if
priorities-
if she's living a modest lifestyle.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm not
you
saying
don't
this
know.
is how
No,
women
no,
have
I'm just
to
saying.
be. I'm
if
saying
she's living a modest lifestyle and she's not splurging, going out clubbing, buying Birkin bags, she's putting this money in the bank.
Yeah.
A modest lifestyle, only spending what she needs, and you're gonna leave her?
you ever met a girl like that before?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But what's her cash flow like?
Bank.
Okay.
Like
These-
she got
these-
cash flow, like she making like
Got
200,000
bank. No, bro.
A
I'm
year?
talking about 6 figures.
Okay,
a year.
be-
Oh, a year?
B's
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
is she a lazy woman? No, I'm not
No.
saying she's lazy. I'm just saying she puts family. Like you could be raising 4
So-
kids, and that'd be
So
way harder than a
you
career.
You want to go back to the Stone Age?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barefoot,
He wants
pregnant,
to-
in the kitchen, no hair, no
That's what I'm
nails,
hearing.
none of that.
2023,
Right?
bro.
Yeah, I want to
It's
be. I want to
2023.
be in the time where you could just bash someone over the head with like a club and,
And
just
throw it
take
over
their
your
girl.
shoulder?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, like
Catch me outside. How about that?
Hey, I told him we was talking about that. Hey, the minimum age must have been lit as hell, bro. You gotta take me back. I'll be over
Yeah.
there like King Edward.
yeah. If I was in Caesar's tongue, I'd be cutting motherfuckers' tongues out too. So
Shoot, I wish I was in the Roman times.
okay, fine. You guys
Oh,
don't
man,
agree with
lit.
me.
No,
I don't
I
agree
don't.
with you. I think you guys.
I'm calling bullshit.
Me too.
I would much rather be a Neanderthal caveman. So
Bro, we gotta see it to believe it. First of all, these is all
Yeah.
speculations.
You know.
all right, we could get back to this question because I feel like it was a heated one and y'all are all wrong, or
You're wrong.
At the end of the day, I don't think it matters, bro.
Yeah. Well, how would you feel about? Do you think he's right?
I think 50K. If you're making 50K, if it's me making 50K or her making 50K, that's still 50K. At least I'm bringing in something.
no. Look, the
Right.
question is,
And I'm-
she
I'm
makes
not
double
broke.
what you make. Answer that.
Double. Okay, so like 100K and then there's 50K.
Yeah.
50K looks really small compared to 100K when you look at it. On the
So
same.
are you comfortable dating a girl
but
that
yeah,
makes
I mean-
more than you?
More? Yeah, I'm okay with that as long as she's respectful and doesn't lose respect over time.
That's the thing. I think she would.
That's one thing. Losing respect because of money. If you put so much of an emphasis on money, you're not for me anyways.
But you're going to know
Because
that
you
in the
go-
beginning if she's about money.
I like
Before
money
you
too.
even
but
get down into it. If she's
Oh,
into that
yeah,
lifestyle.
exactly. She's about that life.
Ashante asked a
Yeah,
good
money's no
question.
joke.
She said, "What happens if you guys are both making the same and she surpasses you in time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Wha-
happened.
So how does that work? You still going to leave her?
Yeah.
Break up with her right away, bro.
Liar.
As soon as she gets that
Man,
promotion,
hey, look,
bro.
I need control of the box.
Bullshit, bro.
Yeah, I can't
Calling
get the
bullshit.
ball
Calling
right.
bullshit.
Calling
bro.
bullshit.
Okay, so all right. I really think this is a good topic, but we shouldn't go on it too long because we could probably talk about it another time. I could prove you guys all wrong.
No, you won't.
That's
You
a
know
good
what?
topic.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
All right. I want to make this a little more fun. You guys.
This
what was
wasn't
the-
fun. This
what
wasn't lit
was-
just now.
What was the worst date you've been on?
Ooh.
Okay,
Let's
I
make
can
it
I
fun.
can I
One
can do
of
this
them.
one. Okay.
Okay, go on.
I went on a date with the girl and I took her to this super nice restaurant, way nicer than I should have taken her to, but I kind of always wanted to go. I just never didn't want to go alone. And then we have a great time and we're talking about going to Dave and Buster's afterwards to shoot basketball and we're kind of getting competitive. She's like, "No, I'll beat you." And I was like, "Okay, you could try." Da, da, da. And then then when the bill comes, I pay the bill, right? And the first thing that comes out of her mouth wasn't "thank you, I appreciate it," nothing like that. She was like, "I could have paid half too." Like in my eyes, that was extremely
I think
unappreciative.
this is the third time I heard you mention that date. That must have really scarred you. Huh, bro?
Yeah,
Because she wanted to pay for half of the bill, goddamn.
Just because she wanted to pay, you're fired.
It's actually the second time,
done
but she
with you.
asked worst date, so I thought I'd bring it up.
even.
So
I shall
instead
go
of
back to my
being
steed.
instead of being appreciative and saying thank you, she made it seem like, well, I could have paid too. Like, bitch, you should have said that before I paid the bill. You know?
I
So
don't
wanna
think
pay
that.
half.
No, some girls don't say it because of that. I think they say it because like, hey, like, they should
no,
say
she
thank you.
shouldn't have said it. She should have said thank you very much.
Some females don't
So
you like to be
you felt
treated?
like she
How do you
didn't
guys feel about
appreciate
it? Let's ask the
gesture and
females.
fact that you took her
There's-
out, right?
You guys like to be
Look,
treated,
we
or do you
can't
guys
all
like
talk
to pay
over
half?
each other, so one at a time, you guys.
I say let's ask the females because we don't know from their shoes. You're not wearing.
She asked what's the worst
shoes,
date,
so, like-
okay? So I answered. Anybody else have
Oh
a
yeah,
worst
let me
date?
see. Last day I was on was pretty bad too.
Go on.
I don't really want to share though.
Nah, man, we got to hear it. You talking about it
you
now.
gotta
Jumping
tell us,
in, you might as well say
yeah.
it.
I mean, I was like
Say it with your chest.
last day.
If you don't
I
feel
was on-
comfortable, it's fine. But I
Yeah,
know we
mean,
cut you off too, Darnell.
No, no,
I
it's
went
all
out
good.
to eat and I didn't get none, so that was the downside.
Whoa,
of the
whoa,
day.
whoa.
That's a bad
So
date.
that's the bad date because
Nah, I think it was just I had expectations. You don't want to have expectations.
Wait, didn't you send me a text or not a text, a meme or a video about that?
yeah.
The dude, so this dude, he pulls up to the first date and he rolls the window down without opening the car. He has the girl gets to the passenger seat and he has the car locked and she's like, why don't you unlock the door? He's like, I just want to ask you a question real quick.
In my defense, I was in Vegas, bro.
Hold
when
on,
that
let
thing
me
happened.
finish the
I'm
story,
sorry.
bro. All right, so he's like, do you put out on first date? And she was like, no. And then he's like, okay, that's totally fine. He's like, in that case, are you willing to pay half the bill? And then she was like, no. And then he's like, okay, well, I gotta go. So he left.
That was the thing about that day.
I
She
don't
offered
think
to pay
I don't
half the
think I
bill.
necessarily agree with that, but is that what you're saying?
She offered to pay half of the bill. I paid the bill because I was like just being cool about it. It's not like,
You should have let her pay
I had
half the
this-
bill.
but she.
No, I'm just kidding. That's chivalrous
anyways,
of you.
It was Cheesecake Factory. It wasn't like super fancy or anything like that, but it wasn't like McDonald's.
All right, question
You
giver.
know what I'm saying?
What's your worst date?
Oh, this is like a long time ago, a while back. I went on a date and I told him I'm allergic to seafood, and he chose a seafood spot.
No way.
Right?
Missed the
So
assignment.
I'm like, at that time, I was a different person. I stayed quiet. I was like, okay, maybe he didn't understand that I have. So I
Right.
go there and I'm like trying to figure out what I'm going to eat. And then I choose something and it's like chicken, whatever, right? It's not the best thing on the menu, but I was like, okay, I'm just going to, do it. And then the conversations went too personal, like he straight up told me like my brother's locked up, blah blah blah, this and that, my mom this, my dad that, this,
Wow.
and I'm just in like, is this a therapy session right now?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Definitely
And
not
so
first date material.
then our food was like we put on order in, but the waitress, she forgot to put in our order, so our food was late. And so at that point I'm starving and I'm sitting here listening to like the sad life story of somebody I just literally just met, and I'm like, okay, it's gonna get better once I eat, I'll be fine. And I'm like, okay, so the conversations carried on, whatever. And then the lady brings our food, and I was like, we've been waiting for an hour for our food, And she was like, okay, I'll comp the food, this and that. So, and we just got a few drinks. So then at the end of the date, the waitress puts the bill on the table. And so I'm like, okay, I look over. He opens it, closes it, and slides it to me.
Wow.
My man, that was too funny.
And I was like,
Dude, he was on demon time.
I got him.
I was like-
Here you go.
so I was
Oh,
like,
man.
oh.
Wait, did
right.
you ask him out to the date or did he ask you out?
No,
Okay.
he was like, he asked me literally 5 times to go
Wow.
on this date, like pursue it. And I was like, I wasn't too sure about him either. So I was like, okay, well, I'll be nice. I'll like, okay, we'll have dinner. I'll get to know you a little better. But as soon as he slid that towards
Wait,
me,
why do you
and-
think
and
he
it
did
was
that?
funny because there was no food on there. It was only a couple of drinks. It was not much, but And so I opened it and laughed. I was like, okay. I was like, I can pay for this. It's totally fine. He was like, well, you got majority of the drinks. And I was,
No shit.
I started dying laughing, and I said, yeah, that's fine. And then I paid for the food, and he was like, oh, thank you. So where are we off to next?
Home.
And I said, I think you should go and visit your brother.
Time for me to go home.
That was my response. I think you should go. And then the next day he texted and he was like, hey, you live in a nice area. How much do you pay for your rent? And I was like, what the hell is this guy on? So I said to him, why? Do you want to pay for my rent since I paid for your bill? And the conversation
Shots
ended there.
fired.
That's how it ended. Yeah,
Where'd
but
you
I was
meet
like-
this guy?
It was through a friend.
You know, if that bill didn't get comp, he would have still slid you that.
Yeah, but
He was a freeloader.
seriously.
Boy, was not a good one.
But the worst
He was
part is
sitting there
like
talking
he
about-
liked to dress good. He liked to, take care of himself and
Yeah.
everything. So
Do you
um,
think he did that because he knew that the date wasn't going well and he was like, well, whatever, make her pay because it's the shit date anyways?
he should have just stopped talking.
I think he profiled her and said, she
No,
can pay
but
for
do you
this.
think he did that because of
Well,
that
the
reason?
That's a
energy, yeah,
possibility,
obviously,
though.
yeah,
I think so.
obviously,
Yeah.
there's an energy. You can tell, like, if someone is quiet the entire time and you're just pouring your whole entire like emotions and stuff on this date, that other person's gonna be drained, and you can tell by their face, like they're drained. And so that's probably why I was ordering more drinks.
He also might have been financially struggling, just like he wasn't emotionally.
Right.
All right, that was a good story. Letty, do you have
It
any?
happens.
Nothing like that.
Mine's-
mine's
I'm
pretty
trying
lame.
Let's hear yours.
It's not that long either. They just made me walk out to his car, even though like I gave him my address and everything. Parked outside the curb, because I lived in a cul-de-sac, so he parked on like the very front of it, and he was like, "Hey, I'm here." I'm like, "Okay, I don't
Wait,
see
so
you."
you'd have preferred him to come to the front door and say, like, open
Yeah.
it?
It's-
Be a
'cause-
man about it.
Yeah.
He pulled up and blew the horn. Bum, bum.
Does he have to meet your parents or people that
No,
you're living with?
no, but like, don't. I think it's like a little rude if you're walking like in heels, like down the street to your car.
Maybe he
you
wanted to
know?
watch you walk over to the car.
So okay, so
Still.
so
It's like
no-
a
I'm
like
trying to help him out a little bit.
scenic entry.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
It's like a prom entry.
Right.
okay, so
All right,
don't.
you didn't tell us your worst date.
Well, I've had a couple of them.
Yes.
I can say one.
Why? Because you keep having bad dates because of you? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, man, because I got Omid, in my ear trying to talk to me, so everything turns into, hey. But no, met this one lady online, and looked, pretty nice, put together. Then it was like it was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
What do you mean?
When we get to the restaurant, sitting there and loud, arguing with the wait staff, I'm like, yo, man.
She was?
Yes. I was like, this is not what I
She
signed
was trying
up
to
for.
put everything in order so when you get there, it was all good.
Nah, bro. We was sitting there together. Yeah, and I was like, nah, this is not the business. Oh, what's wrong? This stuff, it's cold. Where my ice at? I'm like, oh, man, run. Yes. I was sitting there like, man, do I just get up and say I'm gonna go to the bathroom and not come back?
Yeah.
That was easy.
You know what? I thought about it. But I was like, no, I'm gonna ride it out. It got worse.
Yeah, but what if she's a serial killer and then she comes back later because of that? No, like she left her.
Yeah, no, we don't have them problems.
So then what?
Sat there, finished eating, and it was like, all right, man, it was
Sit
good.
there.
2 hours later.
No, bro, no. Literally,
How long was it?
It was probably about 45 minutes.
Okay.
I made sure. I'm like, no, I'm not ordering nothing crazy.
No dessert.
No dessert. No, we getting up out of here. And so
This isn't no dessert for
yeah,
you.
yeah, man, we're leaving. And I'm like, all right, man, it's nice to meet you. Put the hand out there.
Oh wow, you give her the handshake.
Gave
the
her the
formidable
handshake. She's like, oh, I like to get, all right, gave her the side hug.
Do you think she
the
realized
pity
that
pat too, or
it was
what?
over?
She did, because she was like, oh, you just seem like your whole mood kind of changed. I said, well, you were kind of just yelling and cussing at the people that's supposed to bring us our food. I like my food without spit and other
That's-
stuff inside of it.
Bro, I'm done.
You know what I
you're-
mean?
I never go
that's-
on a date again with her.
Oh, bro, I was done. Didn't call her again.
Straight.
Yeah, the one date of mine.
You had your
he
food
was
spit
like,
in one time?
No,
Is that what you were gonna
no.
say?
But we're
No,
going to a
but
whole
he was
different
really
topic.
rude to the waitress, and I
yeah.
didn't appreciate it. And then oh my god, guys, he tipped her $2.50.
50 cents.
Wow.
Why? Was she have bad service?
No, and she turned around and she was like, "Is everything okay?" I felt so embarrassed. I actually slid money in there
Wait,
for
what?
her tip. Yeah, that's
Wait, she did everything right and he took
yeah,
her
like
back?
he was just like being obnoxious. There are some people who are obnoxious
Right.
who think it's funny
Yeah.
or think it's comedy, but
It's
you're just
not.
making a clown out of yourself.
Exactly.
So yeah, I totally understand what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I don't mess with people in the service business, man.
No.
You know, that's something that you gotta appreciate.
Yeah.
They
Look,
really do spend food.
You
as far
bringing
as I
me,
know.
you bringing my drink, my food. Hey man, how you doing? You having a good day? You cool? You solid?
Yeah.
You straight? Look, man, you take care of me. I'm gonna take care of you,
Right.
man. We can make this happen. You know, you fuck my food up, then we're gonna have a problem.
Oh,
You know, but that right there, being rude and obnoxious to him, don't bring me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't gotta serve me. Don't go back there to the kitchen telling the, hey, look, drop his in the trash, then drag it across the floor, then put it on his plate.
Right away, you were like, I'm not eating.
No, I'm
Oh,
done.
you
all
really
the
think
energy.
people do that?
Yes,
though?
they do.
Yeah.
They really do,
that.
bro. I've heard
They do
stories,
it.
man. People really spend food.
Man.
Servers, bro.
I think you need to look up people at bartenders and people in restaurants. They have codes for different type of people that come in.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Yes, really.
I mean, what did I ever do wrong to them, bro? God damn.
No, just be nice to
You
yourself.
I feel like I
Nice
come
to
in
them, bro.
cold
Just be
red as
nice.
soon as I come
You
in.
gotta be nice to them, man.
I am nice.
You
I even
gotta-
tip
you gotta
sometimes.
be
but
real
I
nice.
feel like it's all about the energy of the environment that you're going into.
Definitely.
It's like
definitely.
the restaurant.
Yeah,
You know, you go to Benihana's, you're gonna get a good energy, right? Of course.
no
people-
question, man. No question.
You know, some places just have that energy where it's just they don't
Aw.
like you for some reason. I don't know why it is.
Mm.
You can be as nice as
I
possible.
feel like we've got like 10 more minutes before the white camera dies. So let's get to the next question then.
right.
Letty, I feel like this one would be good for you. At what point do you know that you want to introduce somebody to your parents?
Ooh,
Hmm.
that's a good question, actually.
Like, what do you need to know?
I'd probably want to meet their family first.
Yes.
And then decide.
Yes, exactly.
So what does that mean? What would meeting their family do for you?
You know how they're raised.
Wait, I'm
Yeah.
asking Letty.
Yeah,
What-
yeah,
well-
basically though. You can see like the environment that they grew up in,
Mhm.
the kind of like culture that they had.
You're speaking to the mic.
Like just how they were raised and what kind of morals they have. And if that like fits with your life and your
How are you going to
family.
see all their morals by one interaction with their parents?
I think you can tell a lot with how they act with their parents, especially
Yeah.
their moms.
Depends. It definitely depends. You can have parents that are crazy, cuckoo, or just the complete opposite of you. You changed your ways, you switched it up, and you
Yeah,
decided
yeah.
to be different. So saying that, oh, I want to, I'm gonna gauge if I want to talk to you or deal with you based off of what I see with your family and your interaction.
Not like their family directly, but how they interact with their families.
So
if
B
that-
Yes.
kind of said that
Yes.
too.
So you
She
mean if
said-
it's respectful?
yeah,
Yeah,
like, they can be
okay.
like
That's
crazy
respect.
and then
Yeah,
still
yeah,
like
yeah,
respect
yeah.
their parents.
Okay,
you know?
that's
B,
cool.
B said their manners, and yeah, I'd want to meet their family first too to see how they interact with them, see how comfortable they are with their own family.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess manners, morals,
Respect.
respect. What else?
Yeah, manners, morals, and respect. And also, yeah, you just want to see how that person is raised because there's different cultures, there's different, lifestyles. You just want to see if their family lifestyle matches your family lifestyle too.
Okay, that's a good one. I think that's what I'd be looking for the most.
Yeah,
'cause that could
for
make
me, that's really
family
important.
dinners very uncomfortable.
Yes, exactly. You want to make sure the families get along too. It
What do
can
you
be-
think needs to match in the lifestyles? Like if your parents don't drink and theirs do, or like what else?
Well, I think it just depends on if they drink in excess. If it's
Right.
moderate. If they drink and get sloshed and get loud and get crazy, well, then your parents are gonna be like, "Man, this is what you're
But
trying to get into."
drinking is just one I threw out there. What
No,
else?
Right. But so I look at it like this. So if a woman that I'm talking to or dealing with disrespects her mother or her father in any type of way, that kind of can give you an idea of how they will treat you when something happens that they're not happy with, right? Something that pisses them off, irritates them, or whatever. Now they're gonna go off on you the same way they go off on their parents. If you don't respect your parents, it changes. It changes things.
Yeah.
That tells me exactly how you're going to deal with conflict. That tells me how you're going to deal with issues that may come up. If you can't control your emotions when you deal with your parents, right? You've known your parents all your life. You know exactly how they are, what they do, and they know exactly what to say to push your buttons, right? But if you haven't learned how to deal with those situations, that's a different type of problem. And then that means that you may do the same thing when we have a conflict. Remember we talked about that's how you find out really what somebody is about, when you have to deal with a situation in your relationship. That's when it is tested.
I agree.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I know the cameras are about to die right now, so we're just gonna end the stream right now. But I feel like we should bring this question up again.
Definitely.
For like other things to look out for. Well, thank you, Letty. Thank you, Morvari. Thank you, Shawhead and Darnell for being here. We're gonna end the stream now, and you guys subscribe. Tune in next week.